Proper heavyweight would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like I said,
Should we just go straight into the podcast? Cause
yeah, Beckham's daughter spent like ridiculous amount on a gift for his birthday.
Oh, you were saying to me, go on in.
I don't follow.
Oh no, it's just on.
What do you mean you don't follow modern celebrity culture?
Guys,
I've
listen.
seen your Kardashian
I don't
posters.
care how they spend their money.
Oh no, I know, but it's just like
Yeah,
quite
this is fucking, this is his, so how old is his daughter?
6. We started now.
What? She got money.
Yeah, might as well.
No, we're on.
We started doing a sound check and
like,
we started talking,
Transcending.
all the levels seem fine, so let's just do it.
So yeah, guys. So this week in the news, David Beckham's daughter. It was his birthday, his 43rd birthday on Wednesday, I think. And so she spent £4,950 on a Louis Vuitton wine tasting for him.
How much is
6
it?
years old, 4,950.
You know what she's doing?
Must have some
A
epic
mother's got in
fucking
a
money.
fucking, I don't know, in some basement doing all the fucking clothes for her. They're just paying her money.
Like a sweatshop.
Yeah.
How
How would she get that though? Who would
Well,
sell it
this is
to
the
her?
point,
then?
innit? How much pocket money do you think she gets?
Obviously a lot. If you can
Just
afford
slipping it like hundreds every day, like.
Obviously, mummy's gone to her and said, here's daddy's card.
Yeah.
Spend
Just
what
sign
you
it.
want.
At the end of the day, I mean, like, it's the same with us, I suppose, with our
Like,
kids.
how would a 6-year-old choose that gift in the first place?
Wait, how would she be able to buy it? That's what I was saying. How
I
would
mean,
they
if
allow
she's
her
6
to
years
buy
old,
it?
I suppose it's like how we buy
For our
our
kids, yeah.
kids' mums their presents. We say, look, should we get mummy this? And then we pay for it, basically.
Yeah,
I remember years ago.
But
right?
what was the gift?
A wine.
Yeah,
Like,
a 6-year-old.
how would she know it?
Yeah, how a 6-year-old gonna
Yeah,
go?
it's obviously-
"Oh, what can I buy, daddy? Oh, I know he likes wine.
You would think though, wouldn't you, that someone would be like, wait a minute, you're 6, you're buying a wine rack, like, is it going out to start you? I just remember years ago, right, when me and my...
who drinks wine?
I know. Me and my brother went to town. Who, me? No, James. Oh.
You weren't there,
And we
Tom.
were
You
in
weren't invited.
WH Smith's, and I was waiting in the queue, and I always remember this. He just gave me an FHM magazine. I was around 14. So I walked up to the cashier and went, oh, can I buy this? And she was like, no, you're too young. And my brother just pissed off. He just dumped it on me. I always remember that. It's like on the
Lambs to the
in-betweeners.
slaughter,
Yeah, I
isn't
know.
it?
It's so embarrassing.
Yeah.
Like the in-betweeners, you seen, and they buy some petrol.
Yeah.
And Jay just chucks loads of porn magazines and some condoms on it, didn't he? It's like
Did you
him.
see that Jade turn up at the Hay and Bellew?
Yeah.
That was a bit awkward, that was, wasn't it?
He looks weird now, doesn't he, with his like dark hair?
That Bellew comment about his haircut.
What did he say? I saw bits of it. So what
I
actually
think he said,
turned up-
"Oh, what's something like go away, you and your dodgy haircut, or something like that."
Yeah,
right.
So Bellew had made fun of Hayes' manager because he said he looks like Will off the In-Betweeners, which he actually does,
He
doesn't
does,
he?
yeah. He sounds like him too, doesn't he?
Can you remember? There was a guy we used to go to college with, right? Nice enough bloke, but we always used to take the piss. And he used to give and take us. It was like a mutual thing. But one day he was in a cash machine. He was going to take out 20 quid. So my mate went up behind him, pressed an extra zero.
Oh,
so he took out
fuck.
200 quid. And then we went to, I think it was TGI Fridays. And he only wanted a drink. We had like a £20 note.
So if you take that money out, it's pretty much going to be gone, isn't
No,
it?
well, it is. That's the thing, because you have to go back into like the bank to pay it in,
To
don't you?
pay it in, yeah.
And then we were in TGI Fridays, and he only wanted a drink. We all had a meal. He kind of just met us, and he turned round, and it was like £2.50. My mate said to the waitress, "Keep the change." Remember that?
Yeah.
And you can't really take that back after
I
someone says
fucking would.
that. Yeah.
Money. I'll
Guys.
be tackler.
I remember before me and Claire went to New York, right? When you're there, you have to go to these like nice places, don't you? So I made the mistake of saying to the waitress, it was in the Hard Rock Cafe, and I made the mistake of saying to the waitress, I didn't know we wanted a cocktail, as you do when you're there. A cocktail was like $43.
Yeah,
And I had one sip and it was disgusting. It had bourbon in rum. It had like horrible. It was disgusting. It was like
I wouldn't put you
$43.
down
Yeah.
for a mixer of drinks, Tom, to be honest. Not being much of a drinker, I wouldn't put
No,
you down for
well,
a
I made
cocktail.
Best one ever. I
They're
had was a
strict on
zombie.
alcohol though in America, aren't they? We
yeah,
went
yeah.
to
Virtually every
Prohibition, wasn't it?
spirit alcohol drink you can put in one.
What's it called, a
like that.
zombie?
Yeah,
right, and where was that to?
it's in Cardiff.
Was it expensive, Steve?
It was £8.
Well, that's not too bad. But still, if you don't like it,
Well,
it's a lot.
for a place where this is, that's very pricey.
Where'd you go?
I can't remember where it was. It was in town anyway.
Like a Weatherspoons, I think.
No, not that posh.
Weatherspoons, it's like bloody £5 for like 6 meals or something.
It's
cheap,
all right
isn't it?
if you just pop it in, you want to fancy a quick pint and something to eat.
It's
people spend their nights in it, don't they?
our stomping ground. We meet up there because the guys get trained down from the valley.
Here's some
so-
random crunching. It's the frazzles.
No, we used to go to the Weatherspoons when we were just like started going out because it's like so cheap. What was that thing they used to do? The Blue Lagoon?
Oh, like in the test tube type of thing.
No, it was
is it?
it's the Blue Lagoon.
In a picture,
It was a picture, yeah, and it was like I don't know, £4 or £5, and I bet it was like 3% alcohol or whatever. But you know, you just
Oh, yeah, they just do normal shots of alcohol there and just fill it out. Same when you
It's kind of like those shots you get abroad when they try and entice you into a fucking club.
Yeah.
With those shots, and they just, there's like just flavored water or something.
And me and my wife years ago went to Gran Canaria as our first holiday abroad.
Gran Canaria.
I know it was really good actually. It was cheap as fuck, like really dirt cheap. I think it was like £250 all inclusive for like 2 weeks. It was just disgustingly cheap. But the hotel was crap, but it was like our room was nice.
Yeah.
But anyway, when you're going down the street and all thing, there's loads of bars, and what they do, they just keep coming out and offering you free shots to come into their club or whatever it is. And I remember we went
What
out.
do you want to go in the pub, just stand around outside, get free shots? I'm happy with that.
Well, that's what we were doing. We were just going in, getting the shots, and just keep going. And after about an hour and a half, you'd have about 20 shots. You wouldn't have to spend any money.
You'd be hammered, yeah.
But one thing we found is, you go into all these restaurants and things, and then you're paying like I don't know £2-3 for a drink. You go to the off license, and you can buy a bottle of martini for about a £5. So we're there just thinking, they're just like, it was ridiculously
Well,
cheap.
Scotland now, they've raised the
Taxes.
I
tax
saw
on
that.
alcohol. It's going to be quite expensive in...
Some of the prices, I thought, and like some of the prices, they were talking about cans of beer, and it was only like an extra 20p or something, or 50p. But some of the, like for cider and that, it was a massive difference. It was like,
Yeah, it was like for a
huge.
£2 size, it's kind of like £3
Yeah,
more.
yeah.
isn't
They
it?
got massive issues with alcohol in Scotland, haven't they?
Yeah.
But it is crazy. It's funny, isn't it, when you go into like a bar, and it's like, I don't know, £1.50 for a shot or something, and or for £1.85 for a beer or whatever, and then for a pint of Coke, it's like £2.50. It's cheaper to like go and buy really strong alcohol than a pint of Coke.
It's like healthy food, though, isn't it? Because like fast food is so cheap, isn't it? Like it is really
But you,
cheap.
you get decent food quite cheap, like frozen fruit and veggies. It's not that expensive.
Till you got to cook it, and it turns into like mush, doesn't it?
It depends where you get it. I mean, some fruit and veg. Well, fruit particularly, you don't really want to defrost fruit because it will turn to shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can eat quite well for less.
Do you ever watch that program? Are you well for less?
Yeah, I was going to say that.
And these guys, it's fucking ridiculous. You just get some big fat bastard, and they're like spending £450 a week on food. Do you ever see that?
A lot of money.
And they're like, there was one
Yeah, I'm
about.
starving.
It was about 3 weeks ago. I was watching one, and it was this family, and like they were all big people, And I can't remember what the woman spent, like £250 just for on the shop, but she kept having top-up shops, as she put it.
Yeah.
Plus, they had takeaways all the time. And like, Greg Wallace and all that was basically just going, just buy loads of shit, don't get the good brand stuff, and they save loads of money. Straight away they're going back to all that
Do you know what
normal
the
stuff.
problem is? I think people buy a lot of different things, and they have no real meal in mind. They just
Yeah.
buy a lot of different things without even thinking about what is I'm going to make out of these ingredients. And sometimes just being a bit conscious of that and really break down your week. I'm going to make a lasagna on the Monday.
Yeah.
Maybe I use
chart,
the rest
pie
of the
chart.
mince for the chili.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do a casserole. I don't know, whatever it is. But
I think what a lot of people do as well, when they go shopping, they get the same things, don't they?
I
like
do.
they go into the
Every
shop and
bloody
they'll
week.
get
I
like
do. I do.
every time you get exactly the same
I mean,
stuff.
blame the stores, really. Not much selection there.
I think sometimes, though, people just buy whatever's on offer.
Yeah, there's a bit of that.
So they'll go in there, and there's this guy I used to work with, and that's what he used to say. He never used to just go in mind of making any meals. Just buy whatever's in offer.
Yeah.
He says sometimes we just have the weirdest shit ever.
They say as well that they never shop on an
An
empty stomach.
Yeah.
So you go out, get a...
Fucking donuts.
Like a lamb, yeah.
I remember there's
Ready meals. Ready to go.
there's a program on at the minute, guys, which is you might know. I know you two don't watch a lot of TV, but it's called Rich House, Poor House.
Yeah, I won't watch it.
But I was just thinking,
Let me guess, it's about a rich house and a poor house.
Yes. So basically, right, the premise of the show,
I was saying to Claire the other day, it would be more depressing, like mentally freaking draining than anything. So what happens? You get these loaded people who have like, I think the last week they had like 1,500 quid a week expendable cash.
Did we talk
after
about this
bills.
the other week?
No, it's the same.
Isn't it
it's
the
a
same
similar thing,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's not
similar,
the
but this
same
is
But isn't
different.
the same, like...
The principles are pretty
But
similar. The
similar.
only difference is in this show, the poor family go to live in the millionaires'
people's
mansions and stuff like that.
But isn't
And-
it obvious what's going to happen?
yeah, they live here.
This is amazing. Oh, yeah, I'm
For a
glad you
week,
like
yeah.
it. Give it a week. You go back.
How could they live like this?
This
Yeah.
is
That's
terrible. We
pretty
must
much
make
what
changes.
happens. And you kind of go back and you think at the end, you'd be like, that'd be depressing as shit, wouldn't it? You live in some lovely mansion, you go back to your crap old house.
Yeah, but
with no money.
I guarantee you, after the whole thing, they all go back to their normal lives.
Yeah.
They spend three more days thinking about it, then they just carry on as fucking normal.
yeah, just like, oh, screw it. It's funny as
I
well.
want to spend some more money.
It's really bad that, like, living in poverty. Oh, there, never mind. Anyway, let's go fucking.
Hey, new Bentley's coming
skiing.
tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
It's really a holiday to get over it.
exactly.
Oh, I love it. It's so funny though, because like the poor families generally just go nuts and they go to like Waitrose and they just buy like all the like Waitrose like exclusive range
It's just
shit.
being allowed to Waitrose for them is a blessing.
Wouldn't you think it'd be more of a natural reaction from a poor family to kind of budget?
Yeah, this is what I
Yeah.
think. I would, because like if you
So I don't you think though that they're probably misconstrued in general public? Because
yeah.
I think a lot of poor families.
Yeah,
budget 'cause they have to.
Yeah,
they'll
yeah,
want to
definitely.
do that, of course.
so they would be more inclined to like have loads of
And the
money.
rich people, they'll have their money from the poor people for a week, is it, or 2 weeks?
It's
to
just a
have.
week. It's just a week.
So they'll do a lavish, try and do a lavish shop.
Well, they were being really stupid because like.
They wouldn't buy 17 pence simple beans, like, you know.
Well, this is what I was saying to Claire. They were being really stupid about it.
Smart price.
'cause-
What the hell is
do you-
this, Jeffrey?
You know, meters. How long? Have you got a meter or do you pay billed?
We got a meter.
How long does like how much would £10 worth of electricity get you? Because you got quite a lot of
We
computers.
always
know,
pay
it's
over
what
the
they give
odds.
us.
Yeah. No, we always pay slightly over the odds. We do.
Right, okay.
So
Because they'd be
I,
like,
I don't know the metric unit thing and all that. I just know what we pay covers it. And
They end up owing us.
Yeah.
but would like 20 quid a week be more than
We get
enough
the
for you?
bailiff from you sway like.
You don't answer the door.
turn up in like black suits with my money.
I want to see a complacent partner with a
see,
baseball
yeah.
bat. Yeah. So
Somebody
would 20 quid last you like a week?
Well, I suppose that'd be ample, yeah.
Because these people were like, because they were like.
But then again, ours is more over like a 6 month, and then it
Yeah.
kind of works out. We pay a bit more, roughly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Little
These people-
savings account for you, isn't it?
Well, there is
That's
no,
what
but
people
that's
use
the
it for,
that's the way
yeah.
to work
Well,
it out. It's just to
that's
be a
what
bit
we
more
do,
set.
yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was quite a good. It's an interesting program, but in the end, I think you'd be
But people
depressed
do
as
live
shit.
on. Yeah, people obviously. I mean, I can't imagine a family of rich people going up to their local post office and say, "Can I have 5 on the electric and 5
No, they
on the
did.
gas?"
They
please?"
did. It was funny. It was really, really quite funny.
Can I have 10 grand on the electric?
Do you know that when you
on the gas.
Ratty, you were saying earlier on about the tins of beans that were like 17p.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you think like the actual tin would probably cost more than that to make?
Yeah,
you would. Wouldn't you
yeah.
think how can you make it that cheap?
I mean, I don't know if you guys are snobs when you come to your shopping, but do you ever buy any
it's not,
smart
it's not,
price
it's not a
stuff?
tin of beans.
Yeah,
it's
I don't
like
go to
foil.
Asda, but
Yeah,
we buy like
well, I-
Sainsbury's own brands.
Yeah. I see
definitely.
absolutely nothing wrong with it whatsoever.
No, and what
Only thing is the sauce. The beans are still beans.
Yeah,
the sauce.
yeah.
The
It's,
jar-
it's,
it's
it's a
pretty
little,
less-
it's a little less sugary, so it's less thick. It's more like a.
But that's
water
better for
bit.
you. So that's
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
healthier.
It's
So
like-
poor people should be fit as fuck. Abs and all.
but guys, right? what
Working
I-
out in the council springs in the park.
That's what they're there for.
Making smart price
Well, that's what they
beans.
do.
mixed martial arts, isn't it? What I don't understand, right, is when people like we were
Black belt
talking
and
about.
skint.
But people like stuff. Some things like tomatoes and that.
Yeah.
They're tomatoes, isn't they? They don't
Tomatoes.
taste any different if you
Yeah.
pay a quid for them or
They do. They taste
I
different in
dunno.
the bolognese.
I don't know. Steve, chopped tomatoes
I
always taste the
just
same
get
to
cheap
me.
puree, cheap fucking chopped in tomatoes, happy
If you have a
days.
tomato whole like I won't touch it.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got a
Sliced up
I'm
and
battling
fucking
these
thing, I'll
fast
have
by
it.
the way.
Go on,
Yeah,
go on,
absolutely.
But I don't mind the
amazing.
cherry tomatoes because they're swell. I don't
Yeah,
mind
but you
them.
can't have those in a bolognese.
You also got to think about bananas,
No.
haven't you?
Yeah, I hate
bananas.
bananas.
You
Yeah,
hate bananas.
yeah,
Yeah,
fucking
Why?
gross.
He's anti-banana.
What's wrong with them?
The mushiness, the smell.
Tried to throw a pack of bananas away yesterday. She bought them, they're all mushy.
There is a weird social thing about eating a banana in public, though, isn't there?
I
So
love
you eat in the morning.
But you can't make eye contact.
I think that's what it is.
But-
He eats quite slow, so I think if he was eating a banana in public,
I don't eat slow.
You fucking do. You look like Felicio.
You've been banned from Aston.
You're like old men looking and going, oh.
No, come a minute to death.
I suppose anybody eats slow compared to me.
Do you know what
I'm
I
fat,
find?
yeah.
There are some things that you can't go smart price with. For
Like
example,
meat.
well, no, fuck that. But we bought, and it's just only, we normally buy, Heinz tomatoes ketchup.
Yeah.
But the other day we went to Sainsbury's, they didn't have any,
Right.
only the low salt stuff. So we bought Sainsbury's own brand ketchup. Disgusting.
Yeah, we done that.
Fucking
We
disgusting.
same
It's like
mistake.
It's just
tomato
ingredients
puree.
they use, isn't it? Well, I mean, I use
And the salad cream tastes like barbecue.
Aldi's stuff is
Weird.
quite nice. They're well, it's not their own brand, is it? It's just a cheaper. They've been very good at sourcing other companies and their kind of stuff and bringing it in. It's like their pasties are really nice. I think. Yeah, are they Aldi's
We're gonna
pasties?
test it out, yeah.
Yeah, no,
we
they-
got
they-
Aldi's
I
pasties,
can't
they're really
afford-
good.
Guys, we do an
And a
Aldi
flat
shop
one.
every day, yeah.
Peter's pasties. I love Aldi.
Should I tell you that one thing I love
I do a
about
little
Aldi's?
shop.
One, no,
Oh,
sorry,
he's one of
Lidl's,
them.
Lidl's.
You bros.
One thing I absolutely love about Aldi's, the staff don't give a shit, do they? It's like a jumble sale, isn't it?
No.
There's boxes everywhere and they're just like, get
I
in the
seen
queue.
the trolleys yesterday just bumming through the aisles like, and there's a pardon me after they've gone over your foot.
Have you seen that film Superbad when he goes into the alcohol shop and the guy's there serving the big fat guy,
Yeah.
and he's just there, clearly doesn't give a shit, just
Yeah.
having a few beers, and that's like the Aldi staff.
Life,
Isn't it?
isn't
He's not fat anymore, is he?
No, not him. There's a guy serving in there, and he turns up at the party, and they have a big fight.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, what's his name? Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill.
In the hell. He's
looks
lost loads of
weird,
weight.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looks weird. His head looks
He
massive.
looks better when he was
his
overweight,
head is
didn't he?
massive.
Did you
he's
see
more
him?
on suit to be a big character.
It's
as
like,
in, like
that-
a big,
what's
big
the
man.
other guy off the
Pretty healthy as
Hangover?
fuck,
Because he's lost loads of weight as well, doesn't
Oh,
he?
yeah.
Zach Galifianakis.
Yeah, I was going
But
to
he
say
kind
Zac
of looked
Efron there.
healthy. You know, some people look
Sorry,
healthy.
yeah.
He haven't lost weight. He just had a shave. He just shaved his beard off. He just looked
So I tell
automatically
you
thinner.
what, some person that's lost loads of weight. He was on Soccer AM yesterday. Plan B.
Who?
What? Plan B is a rapper.
Yeah, he's the one who did like
Did you do those films?
Kiddo Hild.
Yeah.
A weird name. Plan
B, yeah.
Well, then Plan A didn't go as quite a plan, did it?
Plan B. Is he the
Yeah.
guy who was in that film with?
Oh, and he was in Ray Winston's film.
No, he was in
He's done,
He's in
Harry Brown.
Harry Brown. He's in
Yeah,
Harry
yeah.
Brown.
He's the bad guy in Harry Brown.
Shit,
Fucking
the
old
old
TV show.
70s fucking
Minder, not Minder.
No.
Oh my God, what the
It's the something in there.
The Sweeney.
The Sweeney, yeah, that's him. Good actor actually, and he made what did he make? Something Manor, Ill Manor. The
Ill
film.
Manor.
Really good. Yeah.
And he did the soundtrack to it all as well. didn't he?
I was watching on a flight, and there was nothing on, and I just chucked it on. And I was like, "Oh, this is some shit." It made me go to sleep. It was brilliant, actually. I've got to give it to him. But he looks weird, man. All his hair's like slicked back. He just looks really like pencily.
But he's weird because he's an
Pencil.
actor. He can sing and he
Yeah,
can rap.
Some people are really like
He is just
annoyingly
phenomenally
talented.
talented.
Yeah, but I mean, but the roles that he's playing, are they really kind of...
Harry Brown, I thought he was
Chavi.
awesome in. He was really
Yeah, but
good in
he's
Harry.
just-
He's like a gangster sort of guy.
yeah,
isn't
Like
he?
all the same, really,
East
isn't it?
London type.
Well, he should be very cockney and very kind of, angry.
Like Danny Dyer.
Yeah, angry
Dyer.
cockney with small
Danny Dyer.
eyes. Do you mean I got fucking small eyes? Look at you, you can.
Guys, I saw. Have you seen Dunkirk yet?
No, no,
No,
It's on
no.
Sky now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on Sky at the minute.
Don't tell me the end.
Chuck over those cheesy
Yeah, I
clips
won't tell you
sometime,
what
innit?
But
Don't tell me.
annoyingly,
Pen crashed.
Harry Styles was in there, and he was
Yeah.
actually annoyingly quite a decent actor.
Harry Styles.
It pains me to say the guy off One Direction.
Who?
Oh, yeah.
You know him if you've seen him, but he was in
would
the
I?
film. Oh yeah, you
Oh,
probably
what, is
know.
he the one with the really
Loads of tattoos.
flappy hair?
Oh, is that the one that shags all the girls?
Yeah.
He's
Guy's annoying as
the
fuck.
MILF fucker, yeah, that's the one, yeah.
That's the one.
The milf
Who'd he
fucker.
shag?
The older women, innit?
Caroline
He's
Flack,
after
wasn't
them
he?
mums
Oh,
and
yeah.
all that.
He absolutely loves it.
The milf
anyway,
fucker. That's like
He literally is, isn't he?
Fucker.
But he was actually annoyingly like, all right, he was pretty good in.
Where all the rest of the band was shagging the fucking teens, he was shagging the teens' mums.
Can't blame him for that.
Who is the guy though that was is he married to Cheryl Cole now?
Oh yeah.
People find her attractive. I don't at all.
It looks weird. Have you like
I bet. I mean, she looks really skinny on camera. She must have like a fucking skeleton in real life.
She has Prom weight though now.
Is she?
She
Pregnant again, though, isn't she?
She's a mum, guys.
She? I don't know.
I don't know.
I know she was.
She had a baby, didn't she?
Yeah. And
How did that happen?
but no, he was showing you a picture of her like 10 years
When a
ago.
man penis
now.
goes in a woman's vagina.
Thanks, Ellie.
And they go happy.
happy. Have you seen that tattoo on her bum?
Is it like a rose? It's like a rose bush there.
Yeah, it was. It was
By the
on
way,
them.
thanks to the iCloud key thing, I managed to get the Wi-Fi on the laptop. So
Ah,
Yeah.
how do I find it, Jim? It was the North
no,
Koreans.
it's because it's all linked up.
the North Koreans were stopping us.
Sorry.
Can I go online then? Yeah, school that, and she's got like this tattoo on her bum. They were talking about her and talking about it. It looks freaking hideous. It looks absolutely hideous.
What is
You
it?
have a
What's the
tattoo
title?
on your ass. Have that.
What are we looking at
Steve,
here, Rat?
it's weird that you already have that on your phone.
No, I like it.
What do you reckon, G?
It's a woman with a cracking tattoo on her ass.
Oh, yeah.
Should we-
cracking.
Should we? Oh no, we wouldn't be able to put that on anything. Early. No. Guys, so talking about women and bits, and so there was a woman. Did you see this video? It was all over the internet this week. So there's a woman, right? She's in Vietnam. She's looking at this window, this tinted, and she starts picking her nose and like pushing her boobs up and stuff like that. But she didn't realize there was a guy on the other side filming her.
That's a bit retarded, though.
Didn't you see? Yeah, well, obviously, like you would assume that
When
someone's
you-
in there, wouldn't you? I think he assumed it was a guy tied himself up as well. She looks a bit like a bloke. Nah,
Is
she
that
don't-
is it on Facebook?
Yeah, it's all over Facebook. She's
yeah.
kind of like tarting herself up, picking her nose and that, and she didn't realise the guy's on the other side filming her.
I think that's set because
Yeah,
if you
if-
look, it's like somewhere like in the middle of the street, like
Yeah, but
people
people
are
are
walking
idiots, so
past
Chris.
now.
There are people who are absolute morons. Like people do it. Like I remember years ago in Sainsbury's, right? There was a woman and a bloke. It was quite funny. For some reason, she was instead of putting the shop in, she must have been looking for something, but she put the shop in on the roof of her car.
Oh, I've done something similar.
Oh no! But then her partner started driving off without her in the car with the shopping in the roof.
He's in a rush football on.
Well, I don't know what happened, but like people are idiots. Like we all have our stupid moments.
Yeah,
but
we've
some
all
people,
had our idiotic moments.
Yeah.
I remember being in a bar once. It was like all like kind of like clear glass. It was all,
Oh,
like,
right,
there was
yeah.
there was nothing that looked like the actual door. And some woman all dressed up all nice and skankly, just like schmoozed over to. I'm just doing my grand exit, and she went fucking whack
Wow.
right into the wind, and she just looked devastated. Like if
wouldn't-
that was you, all right, but
The whole night was just ruined by that particular thing.
because and she would try to make this grand exit and all that, and she went smack bang into it, and because she reacted so badly to it was like this weird silence.
So everyone got in on it.
Yeah, no, I was like, oh, like if it was you, we just go, oh, it'd be a bit of a
Yeah, you'd
laughter,
laugh,
get that
yeah.
guy a drink, fix his nose or whatever. But
Yeah, it's broke. When I
like
was
it,
in
Chris?
Southampton, guys, in university,
trying.
there was a nightclub that had glass steps. What a
Right.
ridiculous
Glass
idea!
steps?
Glass step. Well, not glass, like see-through steps.
Yeah.
all right, yeah,
But
like
obviously,
perspex or something.
yeah, it was something like that.
Have
It
you
felt-
seen? Sorry, have you seen those bridges?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'd
His
have
legs
that.
went to jelly. He was that scared. His legs went to jelly, collapsed to like the ground.
They got ones there,
That would
and
freak
it's
you out,
like
man.
a sensor pad.
Yeah.
You walk over it, and it makes the glass seem to crack.
I've seen.
I was
I've
just going to
seen
say,
that.
look, it's this one here. It's unbelievable. You would shit yourself.
Yeah,
wouldn't
of
you?
course.
Oh,
Absolutely.
I don't think I'd even go over it, to be honest. I hate
That's-
heights.
I'm scared of heights as well.
Look at this then.
If it's safe, I'll go over it.
There's some of these
Apparently, in
bridges.
Blackpool Tower they do it, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Blackpool
scary.
Tower. Have you ever been to
Unbelievable.
Blackpool Tower? Have you been there?
I've been to Blackpool, but not the tower.
You been up there, Jim?
Yeah.
On the tower?
No, not on the top. We're on the Big Dipper.
I looked at it.
I actually went on the Big Dipper. We got off the Big Dipper, and when we were on it was like rattling.
Yeah.
So we're going up. It's like 100-foot drop, and it's rattle. And we're like, oh, this should be fine. We get off it, and as we're walking on the side of the ride, the next group of people who were on it, they got halfway up the 100-foot rise, and they got stuck.
Yeah.
Engineers going out and on, thinking,
Well-
fucking hell,
When I went there,
that's not fucking right.
that happened. But still, people were still queuing up to
if
go
you've
on
seen
it.
that-
I saw it. I thought,
Yeah.
nah.
Do you know what? I love rides. I love roller coasters. I'll go on pretty much anything. not anymore.
Yeah, I don't like. Oh, after the thing that happened and that.
I don't trust any
Kid had
rides,
a bloody
particularly
leg cut off,
abroad.
didn't
Think of the
Nowhere.
Yeah. Well, I don't like rides and
Think of the
anything.
compo.
I don't like rides and that, guys.
You
Right?
pick a compo when you're dead.
Yeah, but Steve got a leg missing.
I'll do this for you, family.
I support you all the way.
Seatbelt. When I went to when I went to Orlando, right, guys, I don't like rides and that, but I thought I'm here. You know, you have to, don't you? When you're there, you're
I'm
like,
in, I'm queer. Let's get on this roller coaster, guys.
But
you think-
on a shark ride or something like that?
no, well, I went on. I actually went on like, it's the what's it called? The Mummy. You know, the Mummy. The film is a Mummy ride. And it's
absolutely battling these kids,
like,
by the way.
It's like meant to be quite intense. I saw all these little kids going there, so I was thinking, oh, come on. And Claire was like making fun of me, so I was like, oh, bugger it, I'll go on there. So I get there at the very front, which is obviously the worst place to sit, isn't it?
That's the best, isn't it?
Yeah, well, if you like rides, it is, but I don't like rides. But I thought, well, I'm here, I have to go on something. So we end up going on the worst one. I absolutely crapped the brick. It was horrible. I actually was like almost sick in my mouth. Yeah, and then we went on the Harry Potter ride, and it broke down twice. So I don't like rides, and like we were backwards, so we were backwards, like when the ride broke down. So you kind of had that horrible feeling, like of the gravity kind of hitting you, and it broke down twice. So I wouldn't go on another one. Not again.
Been to 4 parks. Went on the
Yeah,
saw,
I've been to 4 parks,
the
yeah.
saw ride.
Yeah.
I like how when you go straight up, so you're looking at the sky, go straight up, and then it curves round, then still like going into a slope. It curls in like that, so you like.
Remember being on a ride? Was it? Oh, no. Was it? Oh, no, I don't know. I don't know where the fuck it was anyway. Drink Manor, that's one. And it was the biggest ride at the time. I go on it. They fasten you in. I shit my pants first because there's a bit of give.
Yeah,
Fuck it, it's not locked in. Anyway, so we're up on this ride. We're going out doing all this and all that, and I realised like my wallet was in my pocket.
Oh no!
And the gravity's like forcing it out, just like Mother Nature's fucking pickpocketing me, and it's like forcing my wallet in my pocket. I try and get a hand in it, like if it hit the whole ride, my fucking hand is crap around my wallet because oh, obviously all my spending money's in it. But yeah, that was heart pounding stuff.
God.
Fuck that.
Did you drop fall out?
Oh.
Imagine how much money.
Thankfully.
Imagine how much money they must.
Oh, they
clear.
must in a fortune.
Oh yeah,
People
they must go down underneath that roller coaster every day
Coins in their pockets and they're just
with a
flying
little
off
letter
everywhere.
picker, just picking up all these tenors and wallets and purses.
Guys, you know apparently Megaphobia in Oakwood.
Yeah. It was the biggest like European wooden
Yeah,
roller
there's
coaster,
something
wasn't
to
it?
do with the brakes on it. Apparently, people come all around the world to go on Megaphobia because something to do with the brakes. There's a woman in work who was telling me
Well, they work.
Survival
no,
rates
it's something
is
to do with
good.
the brakes. It's like special braking system that means you ride through corners a bit differently. So apparently, Megaphobia, for whatever reason, I'm sure people who know a lot more than rides about than I do.
Fucking hell, boys. You were crack cocaine in these pretty crisps or something.
It was really nice. I stuffed my face there.
Sorry, it's gone from 2 massive bags.
got
But yeah,
cocaine.
anyway, so
That was it, yeah.
basically, bit of trivia, Megaphobia. Guys, so I was watching this. There was this interesting story this week, right, about Japanese scientists who made alcohol from tree bark.
So they're back up the right trail now. So.
So apparently, they reckon.
As long as they ferment it.
Yeah, well,
Oh,
apparently by
plenty.
2021, they reckon we can basically have bark from like alcohol from trees.
Tree
And apparently,
booze.
it tastes of the tree.
There's no more trees left, though. You're ploughing them down.
There'll be no fucking trees in Glasgow, will there?
But wouldn't that be like? Would you have a go?
Yeah.
So you can ferment it from most things now, can't they? Like, I thought that was really interesting. Like,
Guys, I'm so sorry. I've just ate another pack of your crisps. I don't know what's up with them. Sorry.
it's like we haven't eaten. So yeah, what do you reckon about that then, guys? Alcohol from trees.
So do they say what a tree
Well, they
tastes
do
like?
alcohol from rice.
Well, sake, yeah. But they basically reckon, well, for
Or
funny enough,
potato. From,
they reckon it's almost identical to sake, but flavoured. So, like, I think they've made it from, like, birch, cherry, and cedar trees, but apparently it tastes like those trees. Like, I don't know how you know what those trees taste like, but it tastes like those trees.
Just go out to ground.
Eat the bark.
There's soon be people stopping
I'm
that.
saying I've seen tribes and I've seen them like eating bark off the trees
Yeah.
and
Fucking barking map, innit?
they get like a hallucinogenic
Effect,
reaction
right,
out of
right.
it. Is it Bruce Parry? Is it? He stayed with a tribe in the Amazon.
Oh yeah, I saw
right,
that.
yeah, I remember that.
And he did like a buka plant or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't
yeah.
see that one. I saw when he was making like,
Like strips under feeding him, he was just being sick. Then after he's been sick, they're feeding him more stuff, and he's being sick. Then he just has an amazing trip.
Can I guess?
the one I saw was when they were making like blow guns and they were like
yeah.
taking out like monkeys from like 200 meters away. It's unbelievable, actually, isn't it?
No.
Killing monkeys.
Yeah, with like darts.
With the darts, is that the one when they get the frogs and they put the
That's
darts,
right, yeah, yeah.
darts on the frog to poison
Yeah,
them?
yeah.
That's it. One of the funny stories I saw this week, which made me, I was laughing my head off. You see the guy who he was a trucker and he drove 40 miles with thousands of bees inside his truck and they were all stinging him. Do you see that?
All right, so this is interesting.
She's a beekeeper.
A lot of questions.
Wallace Leatherhead. He
hang on.
works to build it.
So he was a beekeeper.
Yeah,
Sorry, is
so
a beekeeper.
He is, yeah. So, but he bought 18,000 bees from a supplier.
Jesus Christ.
So he packed them up in the back of his truck,
Yeah.
They're probably just there in the truck.
sharp brake, and then in the front wheel.
So you move from, yeah. So how crazy is that? It looks like
So what
it
happened
sounds
then?
like
He
a
was-
cartoon, doesn't it?
So he's stocked up on these bees.
No, he's buying some bees, and then they must have got
Jesus.
loose when he was driving.
Did
Just
he say
started
how,
stinging
or?
the shit out. I don't know. It doesn't say
That's
how.
mental.
Probably when the drivers opened probably a drawer or something on the. On the
But he
friggin'
filmed it last week.
Daddy's driving right now.
How crazy!
Can you imagine him driving with a big fucking net on?
When you been pulled over?
No, he took some pictures of him. Look at that.
Get you my minions.
Fucking hell,
Inside his
Bloody
thing.
hell. Wow. And he carried on driving.
He carried on driving. What
Freaking hell.
makes
Good
me
thing wasn't
laugh?
allergic.
Yeah, I
When you
know.
have stopped it for,
Get out.
Have you ever had a bee in the car when you've been in there? It's freaking terrifying.
Oof.
It's absolutely. I was driving home from Newport once, and a bee on the motorway. A bee randomly came into my car on the motorway. So how the hell that happened? And geez, I almost crashed. I had to pull over. And
Tom's got a phobia of bees.
Yeah, I
If
have
you
got
see a
phobia
bee
of
around
bees.
Toby,
I
you
used to get a wasp and put jam on my fingers and let it crawl all over me.
do.
Yeah.
Why?
I get off on it. No.
Saucy. My mum got stung in the eye.
I was
by a
going to
bee
tell that
once.
story.
Go on then.
Right, it's funny as fuck. My mum, like, she's known for being a bit dramatic. Like, I'll put it out there first of all. And one day, was it you or James?
wasn't me, James.
My brother James and my mum were walking down the street, and we were just talking, and my mum starts screaming. And we were like, Mum, shut up. And she was like, screaming, throwing her handbag all over the floor. And me and my brother were just like, she was really embarrassed. And we were like, Mum, just shut the fuck up. And anyway, we turned out, there's a bee stinging on the eyes.
Fucking hell.
My mum's diabetic as well, so sometimes, and
I'm
like
partly
you're
sighted.
partly sighted, so her eyesight's like
Oh,
sometimes.
love
she's-
her.
Yeah, I know.
You tell her to shut the fuck up.
Sometimes she thinks she sees stuff, and like it was the funniest thing. She's going, I'm being stung. We looked and we couldn't see anything. Mum, shut up! No, you're not. Come on, let's get in the house.
So was it what, on the eyeball?
On her, there's just under her eyeball. There.
Oh my
It was
god.
stinging her right in the face, and she was going mad. But then, to be fair, she did shut up for a second.
Talking about screaming and acting hysterical and cars. We were driving back from somewhere, and I think it was my mate was at the front driving, and he was smoking a fag. And we had the windows down. It was like late evening, and he flicked it out of the driver's window. Because I'm sitting directly behind him, it fucking flew in and landed on
that's
my
terrifying.
lap. This lit fag.
That's what
Scream, and he
happens.
was cramped at the back, so it was like he couldn't move.
That's what happens on Deep Impact, isn't it? Or was it Armageddon?
What's
no,
that?
the one with Elijah Wood. Deep Impact. That's how the guy dies, don't he?
Elijah Woods.
Have you seen that film, Deep Impact,
Is that one with
with the asteroid? It's at exactly the same time as
Morgan
Armageddon.
Freeman? He's the president now, isn't he?
Yes, that's right. Yeah, and basically he's going
Is
to tell
it?
everyone.
Fine, Deep Impact.
Deep Impact,
Yeah.
yeah. So he's trying to tell everyone about this asteroid. And the guy's having a fag, and no, the guy crashed into him. She's smoking, drops the fag, and freaking levels.
I
him,
always
doesn't
get muddled up with between Deep Impact and Armageddon.
he? Yeah, they're
Armageddon's
exactly
Bruce
the same
Willis.
cars.
Yeah.
And Ben Affleck.
I absolutely love that film.
Have you seen that video of Liv Tyler? No, not Liv Tyler. Steve Tyler. When a guy's busking, he goes and sings with him.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, so that's a pretty cool video.
Anyway,
But
though,
it's nothing for them to do that. It makes
Yeah,
me
yeah, I
feel,
know.
Yeah, and it's like, I'm going to sing with this fuck.
there's
Yeah.
one with Will I Am, isn't there? And he's this guy
I can't
busking in
stand
New
him.
York, and he just pulls
Why
up
not?
just.
He just looks like a prick.
He kicked off on Kanye West, didn't he?
Kanye.
Did you hear about Kanye
Kanye
West
going
saying
nuts,
that,
yeah.
wasn't
choice.
it?
It was their choice to be slaves or something.
What does he mean by that then?
He reckoned
He-
for
he-
200
it's
years.
the
He said
choice
after
of the
200
names that they
years.
given, like.
What? So they could look back and say it wasn't slavery. It was
Yeah,
something else.
he wanted to say it was prison. It was prison. They should change it into prison instead of being slaves.
I think
they-
he just
they were
comes
in
out with
prison.
shit, doesn't he? Like he's got an album to sell now. He
got an
wants to
album
get
to
in
sell,
the,
isn't he?
he wants to get in the public eye.
I mean, if you're
but-
whipped and chained, I mean, that's slavery.
I don't
That's
think
it.
anyone volunteer. Well,
Because
maybe
when you
actually
say
some
about
freaks
Willie
do, don't they?
Ambrose, like grandmothers, grandmothers, they were the slaves, but obviously he's not.
No one chooses to be a slave. Do they take it away and just batter the shit out of and made you?
Do you think he's
rules
like
or
what trying to say to like black people over the world? Let's just reimagine what happened as this.
The thing,
I
most
just
of the
think
black
he's
people,
nuts.
Yeah, but most of the black people in America, their parents probably weren't
Yeah.
in the slave trade. There's only probably there's a few of them, of course, but a lot of them are probably
Generation.
Yeah, second or third generation.
He just
now, but yeah.
seems to come out with this stupid stuff every now and again, doesn't he? Because remember a few years ago we were saying to Steve Jobs, was it Steve Jobs? No, Mark Zuckerberg. He wanted loads of money off him, didn't he?
I don't know.
He's got. I don't know. Did he go bankrupt or something? And then he went on Facebook. I think it was Mark Zuckerberg because he said he's a big fan, and he said, "If you're a fan, you should give me money so I can keep making money, music and stuff, and not be bankrupt." Should we try that?
Guy's mental.
Mark Zuckerberg, if he likes the Lad Jam podcast, should give us loads of money.
But he wasn't asking for a little bit. He was asking like
Yeah,
billions.
loads of money. It wasn't just like a few quid, a tenner.
Do you think
or
he was
something.
doing that thing when like you price something much higher?
Well, like his career.
So you go in with a ridiculous offer in the hope they'll go, right, well, we'll give you $1 billion, but we'll give you half.
Do you reckon
what?
it was him who set up the robbery with his missus then in Paris?
Oh, right, yeah. Well,
Forgot about that.
That was dodgy,
Well, that
wasn't
kind
it?
of was glossed over.
Yeah. Years. I don't know though.
Because she was away somewhere and she just got
Didn't he
wrong.
quit,
Paris it
didn't
was,
he quit
yeah.
the he quit the show there and then, didn't he? He was,
That's
'cause he-
right, yeah. She
well,
did,
oh,
didn't
she's
it?
getting robbed. He got heard in the news and he like live, wasn't it?
Perfect alibi, innit?
Yeah, with
Yeah.
someone else.
There's
Obviously
loads
it
of
was
cameras
concerts,
on
wasn't
me.
it?
I don't know that. Like, she,
And was he skint at the time?
Apparently,
Well,
he's,
no,
he's
he's
like,
married to Kardashian.
yeah,
yeah, but
yeah,
apparently
skint,
he's
yeah.
personally in loads of debt, isn't he? But she, to be fair, she probably was like, I'll pay it off for you.
Daddy will pay it. Daddy will pay it. She won't pay for it. Daddy will fucking pay for it.
Oh, she's minted now, though.
Yeah,
isn't
they're
she?
loaded
Kim
now, aren't they?
Kardashian. Have you seen? I was looking at the news earlier on. Just having a little flick through. Have you seen these new things? The invisible jeans.
Oh, yeah. Have you seen them?
Unbelievable! Like, look at that.
So what are we looking at then? So Chris is showing me a photo of 3
We'll
women
we'll put it onto the
Um,
Facebook link. shall we?
wearing like it looks like the top waist of a jean,
Yeah,
and
just-
it's all been cut out. So basically, all the material that would cover the thigh and the shin.
Basically, the
And
whole
then-
leg, isn't it?
Yeah.
So look,
Well, that's fashion now, isn't it?
£166 or dollars for a
Yeah.
bit of
fucking
that.
people.
Hey, all right, that fucks me off nowadays. You're paying more for clothes,
Oh, yeah.
and there's fucking less of
Yeah,
it.
it's ridiculous.
It's like ripped. I never get ripped jeans.
Yeah, yeah.
Back in the day, that was because you
You'd
had no
throw 'em out,
money.
wouldn't you?
Nowadays, you wear ripped jeans because you got money.
yeah,
What the
it's
fuck
true.
is wrong with people? Do you know what's
what
going to be
they
the
remind
next
me
fashion
of?
thing?
Wait there, I think we've
We'll
got
all be in
James going
fucking
here.
cardboard boxes outside fucking chip shops.
Yeah.
That'll be fashionable.
It's true. But if you see some of these protesters,
Morons.
To me, right, they look like disabled braces.
yeah, no, they do actually. Yeah, like what Forrest Gump wore.
Yeah, Forrest Gump,
no,
yeah.
that's right. That's a good call, actually, Steve.
Bellends. Who fucking starts these trends?
It was Kylie Jenner. Wasn't
Disabled
it?
people, by the look
no,
of it,
Ke-
with
I
the
say that.
braces
I
on.
say it so I know. It's Kendall Jenner.
So a Kardashian could run up a toilet with shit hanging from her ass and toilet rug. Oh my god, this is in.
Yeah, but
The Ivan R. toilet people look.
there was a thing though, wasn't there? Was it
Ridiculous.
last week? I'm sure I read it last week or the week before, where they like the Kardashians are just there. We go. Look, see that? It's the Kylie Jenner wearing those. It is just literally like an
ridiculous.
ankle
She's
bracelet.
just, it looks like what?
Look, see that? Yeah. So at the bottom there, like that.
Show me and Steve. We can't see her.
So
my God,
this is
that's
where it all
fucking-
went crazy from. So she was in
mad
New
that this-
York, where I think it's New York. I don't know.
So what can people type in to find these?
invisible, just
The
invisible
shittest
jeans.
pair of jeans ever.
Invisible jeans.
I bet they're,
If you get-
expensive.
if you
I
give
bet
a
you
shit-
are.
$166
How'd
or
you know that?
pounds. Because I saw it earlier.
Oh, right, yeah, sorry, look at that. 168 quid.
Why?
So
That's
firstly,
ridiculous.
the design was
Why,
posted.
though?
You think the
How can you
markup on that?
This is where we'd all turn into
What?
mushy morons.
Yeah.
You never even question why does it cost that much? It's less material than a decent
Why
bed
it's
of
yeah,
fashion.
it's
fashion?
true.
It don't have to. It could cost anything we want.
Well,
As long as there's a price tag on it, they'll sell. If they sold
know,
that for,
it's 'cause it's
if they-
trendy.
if they said, yeah,
It's
if they
'cause
said,
the
oh,
Kardashians
they're
bought it.
tenner, they'll fail. But if you say it costs 160, people will go, oh, they must be fucking good.
People need to start fucking thinking
It's,
about
it's
what
a lot.
they're paying
It's
for.
huge money, isn't there? But then look in the news as well. They another fashion trend that they were sending was wearing tights so you can see like see-through tights.
Well, you
You
might as
seen
well
that?
not wear them then, mightn't you?
Yeah, you
No.
know.
It's just it's
I'll put it on.
Well, you see like your underwear and
yeah,
stuff.
you see everything.
It's almost like what?
Just-
So fashion is just pretend to wear clothes when you just got your ass hanging
Oh,
out.
there's some stupid fashion out
Right,
there.
it's
It's
not loads of
really
extra-
stupid
Can
fashion
you remember
out
that
there.
film with another Bruce Willis film? And in the future, they wearing like, well, any futuristic film when they're all wearing like absolutely ridiculously
Oh, Fifth
mental
Element,
clothes.
is
Yeah,
it?
the Fifth Element.
Oh,
And you
yeah.
think that's
Awesome
probably like not going to be far off. It really
Well,
isn't.
funny
They wear like
enough,
plastic clothes and that, don't they?
Yeah,
the
yeah.
guy who did the designs for the costumes there was Jean-Paul Gaultier.
Oh, was it? Oh, that
Yeah.
makes sense. Then,
Remember
doesn't
the
it?
one Euro Trash?
Yes.
That was Jean Paul Gaultier.
Yeah, years
he's with-
ago.
he's with the
Euro
other
Trash.
guy.
But, what was
No
the guy?
way.
Rude, was that Rude, something like that? Yeah, but Jean-Paul Gaultier, he was the other guy
That's
with him.
right,
The
yeah.
French, well, they were both French, you know.
That was a mad show.
Yeah,
that
it
was.
was a
weird,
nut
that
That was
show.
a
Like,
mental.
They are like voiceovers.
it's like how could that? Because they used to play porn on Channel
Antoine.
4, didn't they?
Antoine
Antoine.
Ducun's.
Did type it in, Chris? Didn't they used to actually play porn on like Channel 4? Like,
Soft
Sort
porn,
of, yeah,
I think
Soft porn,
that's
very
mental.
edgy stuff.
Look at that.
So that's the see-through tights that they
Something
wear.
like-
They just wear.
So she's taking a shit.
No, the top. Yeah.
Kim Kardashian, she's crouched down, looking all like provocative, and it looks like she's taking a big dump.
Yeah, like, but it's meant to how much power a couple of people have got, though, isn't it?
I
Like,
think Kim Kardashian could start trends
Yeah,
like
she-
over
well, look at that.
anything.
Yeah.
How is that a trend? That's literally just like I don't know, a bra, I guess, and like some
But she
tights.
can, for some reason, has this
Yeah.
mystic, magical.
She could be a
They're
good
just so
role model by
sellable, aren't they?
saying, today I got a job. An actual job.
I'm working 9 to
but then
5.
again, Steve,
but,
if you could
you
do what
know-
she was doing and get paid stupid amounts of money for you, would you do it?
Yeah, but she's that much influence. Surely she can do it for the better. Like,
Yeah, no, you're right.
you know, if people follow her and idolize her, she could do a lot better for
Like, yeah,
people.
wouldn't you like to see her like being a real fucking human being
I
instead of like
agree.
a mannequin? She's a mannequin.
She is. She doesn't. They don't even look like real people,
they
do they?
don't.
They look. They look like
Maybe,
alien.
like
don't
she
they?
followed after her father, being a lawyer and all that, you know?
Yeah, because the thing is, after a while, right? You know when you get like the Steve Jobs of the world and the Mark Zuckerbergs, or maybe not Mark
Because
Zuckerberg.
she's going to hit
When-
a certain age and she's just going to go wrinkling.
Yeah, of course
At
she
that
is.
time, though, she'd have made so much money, wouldn't she?
But that's what I
Hopefully.
mean, guys. That's the point I was trying to
she'd
make,
be
right?
dead
If you've got
anyway.
loads
She
and loads of
wouldn't find
money,
Yeah.
after a while, you might as well do something good with it. Because, like, when you've got
sure
more
they
money, you
do.
can have it. No, but I just mean, like, instead of doing, like, the crap that they do, and, like, she's always taking pictures of herself pretty much naked and stuff, and she's a mother now, guys.
What makes me laugh, though, the whole thing about the Kardashians is Tom is the one that told me he watches it.
No, wait,
You
there.
did.
Let me get this straight.
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
When I was on holiday,
This week on
right?
the savouries.
Yeah. When I was on holiday, it was literally on every single channel. So the only English channel you had was the Kardashians. Like, that was it. So you had no choice to watch it.
Yeah, you have. You could turn it off.
No, because you know when you just lay in bed, you kind of want something on in the background.
Yeah.
Like, you're not really watching it, but then like you do indirectly end up watching it. don't you?
I've tried to watch shit like that. And I've tried to watch it, make fun of it, but then you just find yourself like your brain hurting
Yeah.
because it's just like, oh my god, and I like her, she's my friend.
Yeah.
And we
Oh,
went out to
we're not
lunch. I
friends
bought a
now.
chihuahua.
Was that with that housewife things? Do the American housewives? It was like, Jackie, I'm Jackie.
Yankee.
That,
Oh,
Mob Wives or
Mob
so like,
Wives.
so like
Yeah, Jackie, I'm gonna.
Jackie, it's my birthday. It's my
Jack, like a
presents.
party, okay?
Oh, like Italian
She's dead now,
American.
isn't she?
Yeah.
She died of cancer, but she's like
What?
this
Oh, no.
big boy with massive lips, and she's
Likes
like
presents.
this. I like presents. I
my
really
God.
like presents.
Like a stereotypical gangster.
My
she's
friends
honestly-
brought me a present.
Yeah. Come on, I want a party. And she's like this big
God.
bird, and they've got
Yeah.
all these huge, like, duck faces.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
fucking
Massive
oval
lips.
collagen lips.
Yeah.
Have you seen that when
I think they literally stick their head in a fucking basket
like a
of bees.
vacuum.
Get stung the fuck
Maybe
out.
they could have got that guy.
And all their faces all
The guy was
swollen.
delivering him the bees.
Yeah. Ready for the party.
But don't you think these programs, like I think we mentioned it before, but it's all about just consumerism, isn't it? Their lives is just to
yeah.
like buy
Yeah, they're
stuff.
like the
But that's
Mrs.
what people-
Jones.
That's
Yeah.
again, that's why people watch this like the rich versus the poor and all
Yeah,
that kind of
I
stuff.
can't speak. I'll
you
watch
know?
it. Yeah.
You know, mob wives and you know.
I've never seen that. It looks quite funny, actually, though.
Well, we watched it, taking a piss out of it.
Yeah, it was only because of her. She
That was on the
kept on
Sky
going on
banner,
the
isn't it?
party and like.
yeah. But she was just funny, but
Just want
I
presents.
couldn't watch it all the time. It'd
Yeah.
do my fucking
You're gonna
nerves.
invite so and so. She got
I'm not
presents.
inviting her. She said something about me last week. I don't want to.
It's like we talk
But she
about all the
comes to
time,
give me
like made in,
presents.
But she got
made, in,
presents.
made in Chelsea and that, isn't it? Where they just literally just a show.
Those
Yeah,
fucks.
we won't spend any more time on
Yeah, we
that
have
one.
to go out with Fibs and Lottie on
But these
Saturday.
people, like, they literally don't do anything, don't they? They go for meals and that and buy
Yeah, but that's all.
stuff, and
Yeah, but
that's,
that's all they do is
Yeah.
go for coffee. You know, hi, and then talk shit.
Yeah.
Look at the booming coffee houses now.
Exactly,
Yeah.
because all they're fucking reading their, philosophy books, talking bullshit.
Using the Wi-Fi and you got one sane person hacking into their accounts.
What makes me laugh though is when you go into a coffee shop and there's a guy there with his laptop just showing off. Oh, I'm busy. Look
You
at
know,
me.
there
With
are
his
times
laptop
where you
there
think,
and
I mind going to a nice chill out place with do a
Yeah.
bit of work, and then you don't want to do it because you want to come across. Like
that
if,
guy,
if,
yeah.
if I went to a coffee shop and ordered a
Oh, he's got the
latte
laptop.
and
Yeah.
opened up a MacBook Pro and sat there, people
Yeah,
think,
you
what
prick.
a prick.
it makes me laugh.
And then,
yeah.
and then I shamelessly pull out my beret and put it on my fucking head. Yeah.
You pull out your own sugars.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
everyone think then about Sir Alex Ferguson?
It's quite
sad news, actually.
I am
isn't
a
it?
Liverpool fan, obviously, but still sad news.
Well, last thing I
Crazy.
heard, he's okay. He's in intensive care.
Brain
But
hemorrhage.
Is
he had,
anyone okay? Intensive care?
yeah.
He had the next.
Well, hopefully he won't mess with his faculties too much. He'd be able to be compass mentis after it. But fortunately, when you're dealing with a brain, who knows?
What a shame, though, isn't he? You know, because it was only the other day. It was during Friday night. I was watching the football, and in the stands they were showing Alex Ferguson. It's quite shocking, isn't it? He come on the pitch and gave Arsene Wenger
that's
some
right,
wine, didn't he?
did.
That's
I
right.
was in
yeah.
the other day, bless him.
Friday that was, wasn't
Mate,
it?
you just
Was
don't
it
know.
Friday now?
You just don't know. Nah, fair play to him. He's one of the best managers not just in Britain, mate, in Europe. And yeah.
It's really, really
Really
sad.
sad, yeah, really
when,
sad.
when we're on football, yeah, Cardiff City
Cardiff
promoted.
Big news.
They did it. The thing is now,
They
it's
won
like-
a shit game though.
Yeah.
Bevan's got a fucking goal.
it was really cagey, wasn't it? You know, and I think they just didn't want to concede, did
They're
they?
so
And-
lucky Fulham lost.
yeah.
So lucky
Well,
Fulham lost.
we just still gone up there, wouldn't we, on goal difference?
Yeah.
No,
we're a point- we're a
well,
point above
if
them,
Fulham
weren't
would have won, we would. They
No,
would
if
have
we'd
gone
have
up.
both drawn.
Yeah, we both.
Yeah, we
got-
have to match each
Cardiff.
other's game points.
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
we?
But the thing was though, I think it was just like and the last 5 minutes extra time, they were just passing the ball around, weren't they? No one was going for it.
Did you
because
see that false start with the crowd running on the pitch? They thought it was
Yeah.
a full-time whistle. Oh my god. Just on edge trying to get on the pitch.
Well, they thought the game. It did look. I thought it finished actually
not
because they
fair.
were just all like standing
on the
around
pitch,
talking, weren't they? And the
Warnock
goalkeeper was just.
shouting at him.
Well, the thing is though, and I just really, really hope that we sort of.
Do you think we'll stay up?
I don't know. Last
It
time we were
depends how much
pretty
investment
poor.
they get. It
Yeah.
depends how much Tan is willing to
Last
shell out.
time they did spend loads of money, but they just spent on really shit players, didn't they?
But then is Warnock a Premier League manager?
I know.
think he
He says he's not, and I don't think he is. I think that he's really good at
I'd-
getting teams up, isn't he?
Ideally, who would you have?
I don't know. Sort of Tony Pulis, someone like that.
Yeah.
Get a solid,
Yeah.
what can't be broken down. I like Martin O'Neill. Really like Martin O'Neill. Someone like that.
Yeah.
Alan Pardew. I really hope they don't go for someone like Alan Pardew.
No.
You know, he just sort of like he's like in the managerial sort of go round. You know, you do shit and still get another really good job.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, we get you
Thing
get
is, they have to get somebody in. I mean, Warnock is good, but even he's kind of said it before, haven't he? That he
Don't
doesn't really like the Premier League. He's
yeah,
more
it's a
of
different kettle of
Championship.
fish there, isn't there?
So I think, but then again, I mean, it may be too late if Warnock's staying next season.
Yeah,
I
you
think-
never know though, do you? You never know. Look at Leicester a few years ago. I know they're a different team, but I mean,
Yeah, but but then are we that attacking kind of team? We're not, are we?
no, we're not. No, but you know,
players can have one outstanding season, can't they? All we need to do is win the Premier League, guys. All I'm asking for. Get us into Europe. As long as we...
They got promoted and won the league next year.
Do you know...
Leicester, Leicester nearly done it, didn't they?
Lots of people at the beginning of the year always do, don't they? They put like 50 quid on. And at the beginning of this year, I put 50 quid on Cardiff City to get promoted. And I cashed out.
Nice.
Absolutely cashed out.
I know, I cashed
What'd you get for that then?
It would have been like 1,500.
Nice.
I bottled it. I bottled it at Christmas when we lost 4 games in a row. We were top. We then lost 4 games in a row.
What'd you cash out on?
£110 or something.
Dude.
Yeah, I know. I was gutted. Imagine that now. 1,500 quid in my pocket.
I should have bet on for Liverpool for the Champions League. I would have got some dollar for that.
Yeah. Good team though. Good team. You never know, do you?
No, it'll be interesting next season. Now we got the Welsh derby back in the Premier League.
Well, what are Swansea? I haven't seen the results today. How are Swansea?
Right,
No, I think Swansea actually. I think they're in the bottom 3 now. Are they? Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame, that isn't it?
Us coming up, them going down.
I love to have that derby, another like derby going on.
Is anyone getting a Cardiff City tattoo on them then?
No.
Well, like I said,
I was banking on Steve saying yes then.
No, I'm not a big Cardiff City fan. I got to be honest. I also, I wish them the best and all that. But when they play Liverpool next season, I will be asking Liverpool to smash the fucking shit out of them.
Would you?
I wanted to smash. If it was out of Cardiff staying up and Liverpool winning the league, Liverpool winning the league. Really? Fuck yeah.
Cardiff playing the
Cardiff,
championship.
Liverpool finals of the FA Cup. Liverpool.
Oh,
No.
Jim.
I want Liverpool to smash Cardiff on both games.
Yeah.
But every other game, I wish Cardiff. I am a Cardiff fan.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you boys. I've never been a big fan.
No, that's fair enough.
You know.
That's fair enough. Guys, so I got another one of my funny stories. So this woman, right, on Tinder. Did you read this story? Chloe Lucas. So she matched this guy on Tinder, right? So they get talking. She sends him a message.
Yeah.
Now, it was quite a funny text conversation that he took the wrong way. So basically, bear in mind this guy's never met her.
Yeah.
So she's got a nickname. And so the conversation reads, so this guy's replying, so is it Chloe or Chlo? Obviously my birth name is Chloe. This is their text conversation, but I prefer to be called Chlo. Well, what's your friends call you? Duke of York. And he says, WTF, why? Because I've had 10,000 men. So he says, whoa, slut, never talk to her again.
Well, you're selling yourself.
Well, you're
there,
on
aren't you?
Tinder anyway, anyway. What do you expect?
Yeah, but like imagine you met some girl, she said that, like how would you react?
Well,
Especially you don't know her though.
If you don't know her.
It's not really that she's had a lot of partners. It's the fact that she's so open about it. That's
Yeah,
she
she
was-
went
no,
out
guys-
just a sense of humour and
No,
just
she
do
did,
as a
Steve.
joke.
That was it.
Was
She
it an
joking.
LOL?
No, she was joking. No, there wasn't.
Oh, what kind of
So basically, but basically, James,
I would
like,
laugh if someone said that to me, though, wouldn't you?
yeah, if someone said that to me, I would
Again,
say,
if it's a joke, yeah, fair enough.
but like basically, and then she's going on about like how she meant it as a joke, and this guy's taking it the wrong way, and she's kind of put off, I guess, maybe put off Tinder as a result.
Well,
Or it's gone
obviously,
public anyway.
She knows then that guy can't take a joke because he's not for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's done her a favour, if anything,
Yeah.
Steve. Yeah. But very, very funny, and this is the difficulty sometimes. Like when you talk to anyone, when you're doing anything, is people misconstruing what you're saying, isn't it? But especially on text, like
I was
that's
going
why.
to say with tact, it's going to be
one-dimensional, isn't it?
But then you put an LOL on the end. That's what fucking LOL is for, isn't it?
But some people are quite dry though, wouldn't they?
Lol.
Some people though are just morons. There was this my manager, right, where I used to work. there was-
Careful now,
I know.
careful now.
where I used to work, there was like this coffee shop, and every morning my manager would go into work and she would say, "Can I have a coffee?" And they go, "Yeah, what's your name?" And she said the first time she says, for example, say she said my name was Mary. Yeah, okay, Mary. And then she went to the end of the counter. A few minutes later, they were like, "Jackie." Looking around, she's like, oh no, my name's Mary. And they were like, well, this is what you ordered. She's like, oh, okay. The next day then, she goes in to get one. And they go, oh, what's the name, please? And they go, oh, Mary. And then she writes Jackie on it. This is absolutely true. Not the right names, but you know.
Yeah.
And she's been there 7 years now. Every day they keep writing Jackie on there.
Why is that then?
She says now she just doesn't challenge it at all.
Yeah, but I mean, I would.
She's
Would-
like,
would
it's
that
just
bug you?
A joke's got a way of fin.
no, it wasn't a joke. They've just got it wrong, and now because it's
Well,
the
by
same
saying
people going
Mary,
in.
they got Jackie.
Well, no, it's because now when people go in the mornings, they just know them by name, so they just write it on there straight away. So they don't even ask
Obviously,
her.
they didn't know.
Have you seen?
It's funny,
My
every-
name's James, and they go, all right, Ted.
Yeah.
Like, no,
They just
James, you
dipshit.
fuck.
Well,
and then you walk up, they go, Ted. James, I told you many a fucking. And I make such
how
a
you
deal
feel
about
about
it.
it.
I would be that fucking
Yeah,
loud
but you
guy,
wouldn't- but you-
angry with my fucking latte frothing everywhere, and they would know me. They would know my name is James.
Yeah, but you wouldn't answer to Ted anyway.
no, if they
would
say to you, Ted, and they're looking at you.
You just be like, ah.
There's only you in there. And
No,
you're
I
like,
would
no.
get it and go, it's fucking James.
Have you seen that
8
thing?
years.
Every single day for
fucking
7
years.
years.
Come
It's
on.
funny though, because every time she goes to a meeting, they're like, "Oh, who's like Jackie?" They're like, "No, don't worry, I just don't want to talk about it." But have you seen that thing that on Facebook? He was going around a few months ago, and he was like, this guy. He went like to Starbucks or whatever it was, and he said, "What did they say? Is your name? My name's Clark or whatever it is." And they said, "Oh, with a K," and they wrote Clark with a K. Have you seen that? And on cakes and stuff like that as well.
They must have some type of
I just think
you know,
some
special work experience going on for some
Yeah, but they
special
just some people just do not have a sense of humor at all, do they?
Yeah, but is that a sense of humour? Or is that somebody being a fucking total idiot?
Yeah, well, this is the thing, and unfortunately.
But then sometimes if you're in a blonde moment, sometimes you take people literal.
Yeah, especially if you don't know them as
Yeah.
well. It's hard to read some people, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sometimes. Have you seen this as well? Sorry to. I was just in the holiday mood, and I saw an airplane flying past. There was these.
You two on a fucking holiday.
I
You're
am
so
always in a
impressed.
holiday mood. Have you seen that? The airplane lands on a beach, an emergency landing, and these guys are walking their dog. That's some scary shit in there.
That's a vintage plane, not like
Yeah, a proper
like
vintage.
not
like,
like an
just
airliner.
imagine that though. Imagine that you crap yourself.
So
So
this
this is in Devon, and a family were just going for a walk in their dog.
Devon.
Yeah, and an aeroplane just landed next to him. Just literally, it's a few feet from him, isn't there?
Jesus.
Look at that. It is like a
What about those videos you see where they're in like some type of, I don't know, Cyprus or whatever, and then the plane comes in? 'cause
Oh, it's
the
really low.
airport's
Yeah,
really
yeah,
low.
yeah. I bring that up now.
That's
Apparently,
genuine
though, there's
stuff.
a lot of people who go to these holidays specifically because the airport is so close to the beach.
It's
Yeah.
like trained.
yeah, like plane spotters, I
yeah.
guess. But these people do, and I'm part
Why
of
do
this.
you get so obsessed with it though? Trains and all.
Yeah,
What is it
it's-
about a train that's so obsessive?
I don't know. I used to.
Is it
go-
the same as like cars?
They
Is,
play these here the same as like if you were cameras and stuff like that. Yeah,
yeah, but
James to run off to the toilet.
But can they like
that's the train. They
ride?
might,
No,
they might
but can
marry
they,
you.
no, but can they ride a plane? Ride a plane? Fuck, I don't know.
To be fair, though, I love her.
Can they drive a train?
Might get up to the camera and go choo choo. Oh, you just give him a shove. Get a call in here now.
I don't know.
Like trains now,
It's a
eh?
weird world I know nothing about. Nah, I suppose.
So there's the
Yeah, well,
princess.
that woman who got obsessed with that roller coaster.
Yeah,
Did you
She
see
what?
that? There was this woman.
She had sex with roller coasters.
yeah, she
Yeah,
loves
she
it.
got.
What?
Hello.
Hello.
There was this
He is
woman.
pricked up, go
There
on.
was this woman, and she was a big piece, and not like that's got anything to do with it. But then again, if you hand out a roller coaster, you need to have a bit of weight behind you.
All rusty.
She she had a sexual relationship with a roller coaster. And she was just.
Well,
I think she's
it wasn't
American.
it wasn't a roller coaster. It was like a swinging arm thing, wasn't it?
Some
It
type
was a
of
fairground. It was a
ride.
fairground ride, anyway.
Yeah, but she would she'd get all coy around it, like, oh my god,
She was.
Oh, you're so funny.
yeah, no, but yeah,
Like
get anything for
she'll
Christmas?
touch it and like it'd
she'd
be
touch it,
oil and be
she,
like, oh.
and she'd rub the oil from like the joints on her face. She goes,
Was she fit or was she minging?
No.
oh, she was fat and horrible.
I can imagine she'd be minging.
She was like this big fat weirdo.
If this fairground could move, it would.
No, I actually felt sorry for the fairground. I actually felt sorry for the
He was
ride.
getting molested.
Yeah, being raped
You have
from
an
a horny
Asbo.
fat woman who's into oil. But
How weird is that, though?
she fell in love with it. And she wanted to marry it, and she got off. She felt
Yeah,
like a
she
sexual attraction to
When
it.
she goes home and she has a freak and she thinks of this ride.
And then,
That is
of
so
course,
weird.
when there's loads of women riding, and she walks in there screaming, "Get off him!
He's mine.
Are you making this up?
Yeah, I made that.
I
bit up.
remember watching
No,
a
but
documentary on Channel 4, remember, about these guys and they like had sex with cars and that.
Yeah,
Did you
I
see
saw-
that?
I've not
It was
seen that,
so
but people
weird.
taking exhaust of it.
No, it
Didn't
was.
they do
It was.
actually
And
do?
these
Turn the
guys,
engine on.
but these guys, they would like
They could do a funny
properly
bad part.
massage their cars and that. it was just so weird, absolutely weird. And there's this, it's just so like, and there's a documentary on about 5-6 weeks ago. These people making like sex dolls that look like real people.
Oh yeah, I saw
You seen
that. That was really
They're
weird.
like animated ones that talk and they can blink and they can say.
Have you seen that? I'm not sure who created it,
weird.
but they had it on
This morning, wasn't it?
Piers Morgan
Oh,
show.
Good
Good
Morning,
Morning
Britain.
Britain, and they had it on there, and it looked.
Santa Reed's real.
It looked like fucking like Blade Runner style. It was like actually had like some type of AI who was thinking
Scary.
about questions and actually answering them.
People.
But that's just rewrite like that.
They're only doing it so they can end up fucking it. That's
Yeah,
all they're
yeah,
doing.
yeah,
It's just technology's going to AI and communicate with a robot, and it's like, yeah, well, when can I fuck one? That's all people are on about.
But the thing is,
cut all that.
All clients want questions. I don't want you to fucking talk to me. Nobody fucking likes it.
wouldn't the perfect thing to be is for not to talk at all.
Exactly.
I just think it's
Could I
so
have one
weird.
that's not chatty and very
say
obedient?
anything.
Won't bug me.
But like, how would you know you get into that?
And can she make sandwiches?
What, fucking a robot?
No, just generally like a roller coaster or like, do you know these
Well,
things?
there
Like,
was a
how does
woman.
it happen?
She actually had an affair. She was married to the Eiffel Tower. She had an affair with a pen. I swear to God.
Was it a
married to the Eiffel
tree
Tower.
or
She was
something?
I think this was on this morning.
That's
Check it out. She was married to the Eiffel Tower, but she started having strong feelings for a big biro.
Have we talked about
That's
this before?
absolutely
Remember
ridiculous.
I think we must have talked about this before. When a woman reckoned she got married to a pirate, a dead pirate.
Oh yeah, I think we did.
We did talk about this before.
Yeah.
This you might not remember. This woman, she actually literally went into international waters, and she says that she got
Yeah, she
married
did,
to a
yeah,
ghost for a pirate.
Davy Jones like her.
Yeah, it was just so stupid. And she says like they have sex and like they do everything.
Oh,
was a
she
woman on-
thought she was pregnant, didn't she?
Yeah. No, she said she was.
There was a
pregnant.
woman
That
on
it.
this
I'll bring it up
morning.
now.
She said she had sexual relationships with a ghost.
Yeah, that was
No,
her.
that
was
must have been
probably
her.
Wasn't no pirates mentioned.
Let's have a look now.
No, she apparently her husband would work away.
So
And this
She
pirate
felt-
would come
She felt a presence, and he kind of like ended up fucking her. How did that even happen?
Who are you? I'm a ghost. Oh.
It wasn't even right. It's like, look, it feels something. I'll just
Yeah,
let it happen.
listen, I married a pirate. I married a ghost
She's
pirate.
clinging on to looks then.
The
isn't she?
curious story of Amanda Teague
I
and
suppose
her
you had Jack
300-year-old
Sparrow
dead
in there.
lover. In 2016, July 23rd, Amanda Teague, 45, married her Haitian husband, Jack Teague, on a small boat in the Atlantic. Wow. He's dead.
yeah, well,
There he is.
What, he was a pirate.
She looks half like, sort of like with it though. She doesn't look crazy. That was the lady. That was on. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. She was on. She was actually on this morning. I remember. It's just like. That's just how could you get married with someone and they can't be there to because like you could say I'm marrying Marilyn
people do.
Monroe.
People marry their animals now, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, well I'll say now I'm gonna marry Marilyn Monroe. She's not here to say no.
What I should read is Amanda, 45, recently suffered a fucking midlife crisis.
Oh, it's crazy. How nuts is that? So she had to go, and they filmed it. And this guy died in 1753. Oh, sorry, man.
I don't know. I had this mental. Anyway, talk about mental, Chris.
Yeah.
Charles Hall.
Oh, yeah.
He's not mental, James, he's not mental.
Right. So Charles Hall. Do you know anything about him? Right.
I don't.
No, I don't.
Absolutely. I really like this, and you know my thoughts on aliens and stuff like that. I really, really do believe that there is aliens. That's my own view. But this guy called Charles Hall, okay, so to me he's really credible. You can look him up on YouTube. And should we try and put a link on our Facebook page?
Send me anything and
Yeah.
I'll put on the show notes.
We'll put it on, and he's really credible. So he was an airman in the first class of the American Air Force. He claims that so he joined in 1964. He claimed that he went to San Antonio in Texas when he was in basic training. He became a weather observer. So what his role was, he had to go into the middle of the desert. It was on the edge of area. It was like Indian Lake, I think it was, and he had to go out into the middle of the desert. To put weather balloons out. That's how they used to gather the information then. And what he says is where he was, there was an alien base. and he met the tall white aliens, and they got to know him. They really liked him. He developed a relationship with some of them. He claims that some of these people, some of these aliens, they were quite human-like. He says that they live 10 times longer than people, he says, but
What, generally all of them, or just
unless they die of an accident or something, yeah, that's
but
their
all
lifespan.
the different types of aliens live?
Yeah, so I think he says there's 2 different types of aliens: the whites, who he really liked, and there was another.
Or the reptilians, David Icke.
That's David.
He says they're the greys, didn't he?
The tall whites that he named them.
And he says the greys are.
But it's just a fascinating story because he goes into so much detail, and you listen to him, and actually, do you know, sometimes you listen to some people and you know, oh, they're full of shit. They're absolutely full of shit. But he's like, he doesn't make up any shit. Like, he's a really good interview by this guy.
So he was military.
Yeah.
He went to this base to develop weather balloons.
He didn't. He didn't go there to develop weather balloons. He said he joined the Air Force, and then he developed an interest in sort of weather patterns and things like that. So he became a weather reader. And then when he was out in the desert, there was an alien base, which is supported by the special forces and the CIA and stuff like that. And what it was, it's just like a stop-off base. So that he says there's about 60 or 80
So how come he
aliens.
was allowed access then?
Because he was a weather person, he had access to all the desert, so he had to go there at different points in the.
And he was obviously sworn to secrecy.
What he says is really interesting. He says that none of the when you're a weather forecaster, none of it can be classified.
So Michael Fish, he could have possibly been in the know.
Well, it's really interesting actually, because he was saying, do you know, between the Vietnam War, the Americans were sharing information about weather with the Chinese.
No, the Viet Cong.
It wasn't. No, it's the Chinese. He said.
That was it.
Yeah, so they were sharing
So a lot of people who would know about this then.
about what, the aliens.
Yeah, then.
Well, no. So this base is and what the agreement is, the aliens will share technology with the Americans, and presumably all the. But they would just let them have a base. They were somewhere where it's secret and things like that.
What do they get from us? Like Kardashians?
They got Netflix and everything.
They get some of those nice jeans.
What he says is really interesting though, because he says that these aliens, the tall whites, are really, really human-like. He says sometimes you wouldn't even know. The only thing that would sort of like make you think there's something odd about them is they've got piercing blue eyes and they're really, really clear white skin.
No, don't they say their eyes are a bit bigger? And they're kind of more on the side
slightly
of the
bigger,
head?
but you know, human looking. But to look at them, you would think they look really odd. And he says, so the base he was in was in Nevada. And so he said quite a lot of the time the aliens would go to casinos and things like that just to be around people.
Go gambling.
He does here. What's more?
Everyone loves to gamble, Jim.
Imagine a scene in Casino with fucking Joe Pesci fucking up some fucking giant white aliens. She's your fucking pen.
So that
Everyone in the world, fuck
this
you,
is a picture of what he says that they would have looked like. So
Looks like Kim Kardashian.
It does actually, doesn't it?
That looks like Kim Kardashian.
It does actually, doesn't it? But it's quite human-like, he says, and he actually claims
Is it because he hasn't got much of imagination and he can't imagine?
Well, he's
Looks like Maya's been on a diet.
Yeah, it does actually.
read some. I'll read your question. So he's been interviewed, and this is the interview I've seen. So this guy asked him, as far as you know, the organisation or society could be compared to what kind of structure? A militaristic society, centralised, a democracy, or a science orientated or a science trade. And he's really good actually when he talks, because, and I'll say, it was my personal observation that this society had an organisation very similar to our own American society or the societies in Western Europe. One criticism I would say about Charles Hall, he bloody loves his books. He's written like loads
he's trying
of
to
books.
flog his books all the time, isn't he?
And one of the answers he says, for those who have not read my first book, in answer to your question, it's important to remember that I simply had no point of reference for the experience. So he says he was never briefed on it. So he had clearance, he can go
So he was
anywhere.
just allowed to just roam around, make friends.
The tall whites, he said that the children were really interested in his balloons because they were really big. They had they're big, colourful. They had big lights on them.
But they've travelled galaxies.
What they say is,
How do you know it's not part of a nuclear thing went wrong, like Hills of Eyes? They're just people who've been just being nuked.
he claims that he actually went on board one of the spaceships. That was he says it's more like a cruise ship, so they come here and they in the middle of the desert, and he
Well,
says
did he go to space in his space?
no, he never went to
technically
space.
they're not a spaceship then.
What do you mean?
Because, well, they're not filmed in space, are they? So they're not a
No.
spaceship.
So
It's just what your mind thinks what a spaceship looks like. until
he
you
saw
see it in
them.
space.
He saw them. He went on them, but he never flew into space with them. As far as I remember reading all this stuff,
I
I
don't
can't
think he
remember
did.
he said that. But he said that they did like there was people helping them like repair their ships.
So they were here for this just like a base.
He says that there's been a base there
like a
for over
port, it's
600
like a
years.
So we were like just a stop off.
Yeah, to go to different
Did they say
places.
what they were trying to achieve? Was there were they trying to achieve anything in particular?
No,
or
he says that they
were they happy not to be known to us all, or is that their idea?
for them apparently it's like a
Holiday.
no, it is actually. He put it down. It's like a stop on a cruise ship. Lots of
Yeah.
people in the planet that they're from. Apparently, it's really dense. They don't have nighttime. Isn't something that exists there very often. They might have night once every few hundred years. They can't see any stars, so lots of them come.
We'll never better tan then if that's the case.
That's probably why they're so pasty.
Yeah. There's no light. So
no,
they'd
actually,
be really
it'd be
tan,
okay.
wouldn't
Yeah,
they?
they'd be
I
almost
don't know.
like-
But what's
Moroccan
really interesting about this? There's this guy called he's a PhD guy, Michael Sala, and he did loads of investigations into
Yeah.
this, and he writes down. He's interviewed lots of people that were in the Indian Springs base where Charles Hall was, and lots of people collaborate all his stories. Lots of people all say he met them there. He was very quiet. He would often go out, and there was lots of stories about him going around the base, saying that he sees aliens, he talks to aliens. This guy explains, So one of these guys, they asked if you ever, it was an ex-civilian policeman that worked on the base. Did you know Charles Hall? Yeah, I know him very well. He's a really nice guy. Everyone liked him. There was lots of rumours going around the base about him and stuff like that,
Like a
talking to
jolly good
aliens
fellow.
and things like that.
Does he have any proof?
Yeah.
No,
No,
but
this is the thing, they never
this
do
is
But
the thing,
he's
you
just
know.
known to the guys as, that's the guy who speaks to
I mean, it
aliens.
is.
It's compelling, it's compelling.
It's interesting because he is obviously, if a lot of his story is being backed up by other people and all that, then okay, fair enough. It's just a shame there's no photographs or videos or sound recordings. I mean, let's face it. Like, it's particularly if
Remember though, he was there for 2 years, from 1965 to 1967.
Yeah, it's like you wouldn't have a smartphone and stuff then, would they?
yeah, but
So you wouldn't have had a smartphone then. He said at night is where they all came out.
You would have had to pull a camera or some sort.
like an old 1960s camera.
it is fascinating,
Yeah,
you
they'd
know.
have
And
cameras,
this
wouldn't
guy,
All that tech they have on base.
Well, yeah, because
This
and
guy-
there's supposed to be events.
I don't know.
well, this
When they have a camera, do they have iPhones in another galaxy far, far
Yeah,
away?
they must have.
I'm sure they might. But this,
Power events, you know.
Probably got 100G, haven't they?
Yeah.
but this guy comes to the conclusion that he thinks that he was Charles Hall was there at the time.
Yeah,
He
no
was-
doubtable he was there.
Yeah, he was a weather
Is
balloon.
there, is there
So-
anything to back up
Isn't
his
that amazing,
stories?
though?
So what compels you is he comes across as genuine. The people he said he's met, he has actually
He
met.
collaborates exactly. He gives specific
Yeah.
dates, times, really, really clear accounts of things.
Yeah.
One thing I find about Charles Hall is a bit more credible than all the other people. He never fills in the blanks. Do you know sometimes when you
Would go, yeah. Sometimes they try too much to
Yeah.
kind of give you all the
Like
answers.
every single answer.
Yeah.
Well,
Because like if like you or I were trying to reflect or describe something, I would forget things naturally.
course
Doesn't
you
mean
would,
I'm
yeah.
lying.
and you
just-
try to
just-
fit in the blanks then, don't
Yeah,
you?
yeah.
But he doesn't. And what's amazing, like I was listening to some of his stuff earlier on, and they were saying, what's their agenda? Why are they here? And he says, I don't know. I'm not fit. I wasn't at that higher level. I was just a ground. You know, they were only interested in me because of the balloons. The children loved coming to look at me releasing the balloons. He did get speaking to. He said some of them I got to like. Some of them I was really frightened of. He said that he doesn't claim to know everything. He's like, all I know is what I saw. I don't know why they were here. I don't know. He said there was people in suit because this guy was asking him. He was interviewing him. It's a guy actually called David Hall, I think, the same surname. And he says,
Or his brother.
I know. He's really intense, this guy. I tried to message him and Charles Hall. I actually got a message, Charles Hall. He's got a millennial he's got a Facebook page which I've now joined. It's called Millennial. Sorry, just a second.
So what you writing about then, guys? You
Millennial
you believe this?
Hospitalities. Those are his books, and he's emailed me back to say that. I asked him if he was in the UK. He said no, not yet.
That was it.
No, he came like in 2003 to do a talk, but he's not back. It's fascinating, you know.
It's
really
interesting.
fascinating.
It's interesting.
But like, how long did you spend with the whites?
He was there for 2 years.
And he didn't learn nothing from him.
No, he learned a lot. He learned a lot about their home planet. He learned a lot about the way, you know.
But nothing about why they were here.
He says the guy asks him that, and he says, "I wasn't at a high enough level." He said,
he's
"I never
talking
spoke."
to
to
Yeah,
them.
it's just a chat, isn't it?
They only
what
approach.
you're doing
He
here.
can,
Fuck you,
what
man.
he says with the aliens, the whites, you can't approach them. They have to approach you. If you approach them, they'll attack you.
But if he got on well with them enough,
Yeah,
that
but you
they
just
could
called the
tell him
police
about.
on him.
Yeah.
But get him arrested, fuckers. It's not a fucking country.
Yeah.
That was.
Fucking UK.
They'll get it.
No, but if you
Definitely legal
if you
immigrants,
can get on with them to a point where you're discussing their home planet and their society and stuff,
You would have
I
thought.
got more information. You are.
I'm sure you're on a level where you can say, well,
So what
can
are
you
you
tell me
doing
what your
then?
purpose of being here are or where you're
But
going
what
after?
he says in the conversations he has is that where they're from, as I said, there's no night. They can't see the stars, so they like coming to Earth because they're quite humanoid. He says they love the culture. He says they love fashion. The women are really interested in fashion.
Yeah, they probably
the
love the
kids really
Kardashians,
love
don't they?
colours and stuff like that. Really, really, really weird stuff. You know, he says they love going to the casinos. They like all the lights and stuff, and they go there really, very regularly with like
They love a light, don't they?
special forces. But one thing that was really intriguing, which is like when he was being asked questions, and there was clearly scope to bullshit in this, you know. And when he's asked about, you know, are they black ops and all that, he says, "I don't know. All I knew is that they had tests where they had to these aliens had tests, and one of the tests was to walk up to Charles and walk around him to show they're confident around him." And he said that there was like 200 people watching him. Aliens and non-aliens, and he said some of them were in black suits, but he doesn't know who they were. So he said, "I don't know if he was black ops. I don't know if he was a government agent." He imagines it probably would be, but he doesn't know. And he says he was never debriefed, he was never declassified any of the information. He was never told you're not allowed to tell anyone. He said on a few occasions he did tell some people, and they just said he was crazy.
Man, you're crazy.
He said for
You would though, wouldn't you? If someone's
you
like,
would definitely
I
say.
was like, oh, James, I'm
But
walking around with
and
freaking
imagine that
aliens.
he says for 6 months he thought he was going crazy. He
you would though,
used to
wouldn't
go
you?
out into the desert, see all these things, and used to think he
Maybe
was.
he got to him. Maybe he was fucking seeing things.
Maybe he was. That's it. Maybe he
He was
was.
stuck in a desert. He had like heat stroke.
Yeah.
Well,
Maybe
he
he
had
went
some
out
of
at
those.
night.
Maybe he
2
was
years
drinking
felt
some
like,
of that tree bark,
Yeah.
tree alcohol, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's chewing on a tree.
But the thing is, like,
It's fascinating. I'd love to get him on. I obviously am not going to get him on. the
if
show.
you
I'd
think
love
about
to.
it, though, if you
Yeah.
met someone from a different planet,
Should I
you
message
would
him?
be a bit weird,
message him.
wouldn't it? It would be a bit like because it's something.
But
Because
seriously,
we've
they're
always,
gonna be. They're gonna feel the same way.
no, that's what he
They-
says. That's what he says. They were like wary of him as well. Because if you think about it, like we've always been told there's only life on this planet. So if you met someone from a different planet, you would be freaked out, wouldn't you? You'd be like, what the hell?
I just
But they speak English, like obviously.
Yeah, how come, yeah, they must have spoke English, Chris.
Yeah, they were able to communicate, and he said we were just talking. But I don't know how they knew English. They've been here for 600 years. They did a base
It's
in
like
America for
if an
600
alien was
years.
spotted in China, do they speak Chinese?
I don't know. You know, I'm sure there's
Or they
sufficient.
go up to fucking North Wales? Do they speak Welsh? These
Well,
aliens?
I don't know. It's fascinating, you know. And I'm messaging him now to see if he want to come on the show. I really
He's
am.
got some questions.
I'd love to speak to this guy. I would
Yeah,
love
yeah,
to
These
speak
people
to this
are
guy.
interesting, and I've seen loads of his videos as well. I do like Charles Hall. It would be. It's just such a fascinating story, isn't it?
You
And
just
it's
think
like,
there's be one fucking picture.
you would though. This is the thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
The lack of evidence.
One
you just got his
fucking
word. That's all you got.
Yeah, yeah.
You go on.
It's
What?
true.
And his books. Don't forget his
And the
books.
books.
Yeah.
That's the only thing with me.
But I suppose that's how they make their living. If they
Yeah,
got to spend
yeah.
most of their time
Yeah.
traveling around the country, telling people their stories, you know, obviously you're not going
Good
to hold
on
down
them.
a full-time job.
And naturally, yeah, like you said.
There's
yeah.
and this is with me, you know, I want to be able to. The only reservation I have with Charles is the fact that he's an author, the fact that he goes and does seminars, he gets paid for doing these things. That's the only thing in the back of my mind which makes me a bit like.
I suppose that's, I mean, because people criticise David Icke, don't they, for him and the money he charges for like venues and stuff. Or
Does he charge a lot? Does he?
Well, not a great deal.
How much is it to go and see him?
I
No,
think
you
about
can get it. Yeah, you can get it.
£25, £30 for a
That's not.
ticket.
That's like a normal.
But
It's
to be
like a
fair, he
fucking
goes on.
8-hour,
Yeah,
it's
I
an
was just gonna
8-hour
say.
lecture. But then what people forget, he needs to pay for the venue.
Yeah.
And
And
Wembley,
make it worth his while, yeah.
Wembley, it's not going to cost you 20
Wembley?
quid. It's like a
Yeah,
fucking...
no, he sells out with like massive
like
venues
Wembley
and that.
Arena?
O2,
Yeah.
Wembley.
No way.
He was in the Millennium Stadium, wasn't he?
Yeah. He's
Well,
selling
really?
money.
Yeah,
Jesus
for
Christ.
me, he's a bit high end. But Charles Hall, I mean, for me, sounds so much more credible. As I say, he doesn't bullshit, and like he
Unless
often,
he's
he
bullshitting about
often
everything.
says, "I don't know." That all I can say is I was at
See,
this
that
level.
could
Is
be,
what I
that
saw.
could be
Deflection.
that's-
somebody who's
yeah.
like genuine or
That's a
somebody who's
safety
like,
thing.
I don't know.
Well, you really should watch him. And as I say, I've messaged him. He's got a Facebook group called Millennial. What did I just say then? The Millennium Hospitality Series. I've just messaged him because they did reply to one of my messages earlier on to see if he want to come.
Like, didn't they give him any presents of some sort?
I don't recall
I like
him saying that.
that Neil deGrasse Tyson, who's on about like UFOs and all that, and he said like you know if you're ever abducted, just
Grab
reach out and
something.
grab
Yeah.
something, and put it in
Yeah.
your fucking pocket.
The anal probe. Try and hang on to it.
They're looking for the It's like,
That's okay. I'll sort it out.
I
when I get
got
home.
you. Fucking
Hey, where's the probe gun? I don't know.
But like,
Where's that gone? Never you mind.
but like,
Yeah.
I like to do like, well, maybe next time we'll do Phil Snyder. Do you know Phil Snyder?
No.
Phil Snyder, he's this guy. He reckons that he was working on they're called deep underground military bases.
All right,
Oh,
yeah.
was that the one who reckons he had a fight with an alien?
Yeah, so all his arms are, and all his arms are really cut open. He's like really scarred, fingers are missing and stuff. He actually does have evidence. He's dead now. He said that he was found dead in a hotel room in Chicago.
He said he was found dead.
No, he was found dead, but he's got yeah. He should have said that. He's got evidence, and he claims that someone he started going around doing all these talks about things, and someone tried to shoot him, or someone did shoot him. But he got killed by the man that tried to kill him. Got killed by a police officer, an off-duty police officer, and then he said quite a few times that if I end up dead, I've not committed suicide. I'm not depressed. Yeah.
How did he die? He was shot.
You know, he's found hung. He hung himself in a hotel room. It's either San Francisco
that's a good like, to
Chicago.
trick other people. If
Yeah.
thinking, remember, I'm not going to do this, and next one he goes.
But the thing is, though, he was
Mess with their melons, man.
he was a geologist for the a freelance geologist earning millions of dollars working in military installations.
So he had a fight with an alien.
I won't go too much
bite
into this
by a
because
fox,
that is really interesting. When I like
Like
to
a
keep this for
reptilian one,
another
or
one.
like a small grey or a tall white. Sounds like a coffee shop. Have a tall white, please.
I think it
They'll
was
have a small
the
grey.
Greys, I think he said. But anyway, these deep underground military bases, and there's different levels, and they were digging,
Right.
and they accidentally went into the wrong level. They were trying to extend it, and they went into a grey area, and the Greys just started killing all these Marines and that, and he got out. And again, though, I like Phil Snyder. The only thing about it is, he makes himself the hero, doesn't he? He pulled out a gun. All these Marines are getting shot. You know, he's really well trained.
Who made these stuff for the Greylians and to stay
What do you
in?
mean?
'Cause if we
That's what
made
Phil
them-
Snyder was doing.
If
Yeah.
so why are the aliens fighting them, man?
Why are they fighting them?
If they're helping them to stay in the place,
that's
for
it,
them
yeah.
to kill their own
Yeah.
fucking
So we
people,
actually give out with
fucking
their-
shoot them in the fucking head.
So where they
He
helping
did,
him
that's his
settle
name.
it.
Fuck you, Grace.
Listen now, but then
We're trying to help you, yeah?
no, can you imagine? Truck pulls up, right?
Yeah.
You're getting all their furniture off, their little fridges,
From
and
IKEA.
settees. Well, you know,
Flat pack furniture.
you know, fucking join
How'd
your
you
bed
do?
by ear, join your settee by put it by ear. And next you know, you go down, right? That's
Fuck
it.
you.
No more backup again now. You can't. I'll fucking kill you.
You step over that door and I'll shoot you.
Again,
How the fuck does that work?
Again with Phil
Just don't make
Snyder,
sense.
and his
Just don't
claim
make
is that
sense.
like all these Marines were there, and they all started getting killed, and he pulled out a gun and he shot loads of aliens and saved someone.
So they go up in the lift opens.
Yeah.
Just say, wait.
Why aren't you hitting the button to close it?
First thing I would be doing.
Stop.
I mean,
Yeah,
and also, if it's that dangerous,
You'd be doing a
why
dive
even
bar.
have a lift that goes to that?
But why are you helping them in the first place? Just don't understand.
They were, yeah. And we need to do a bit more. I need to do a bit more reading on that one, but that's a really interesting guy. But anyway, I really like Charles Hall's story. Yeah,
Say
he's-
that for next time then. Right,
I really
guys,
do think he's
we're gonna call it
credible.
a day now.
yeah.
So if you like what you hear, join us on the
Subscribe.
Facebook group, Lad Chat Podcast. Subscribe to Lad Chat Podcast, iTunes, Snapchat, not Snapchat, fuck mine about Instagram,
Instagram.
SoundCloud. Join us, subscribe, say hello, and that's it. Goodbye.
Cheers.